Hey, and welcome to It's Nick J channel. This is a new channel starting here on YouTube. Just didn't really know what category to put it in because I plan on covering all kinds of topics. So I put it in entertainment. Hopefully, you find some of what uh, I cover as entertaining. Today's episode is just going to be a little bit about me, which I know for most of you starting out here on the new channel with me are going to be friends and family. So this is probably going to be really boring because a lot of this you're going to know. But for those of you who do come along later as the channel progresses, this will just give you a little background about me, what I've done, um, just my experiences. I've got all kinds of things to share. I've spent the majority of my professional life in the convenience store industry. So, of course, if any of you have ever been in a convenience store, know that the convenience store industry, I probably have enough stories to cover several episodes. Uh, I do ask that you bear with me starting out. I've never done video or audio editing before. Um, so there is going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me. I do ask, like every YouTube creator does, that you like my video if you like it. Give me feedback, help me out here. If you have knowledge, you know things about YouTube. I don't. I'm brand new. I've watched a lot of YouTube, but I've never been a YouTube creator until this point. So I do ask that you like the video if you do, and hit the subscribe button. That from what I understand, helps as far as the like too, uh, and subscribe. What we want to get to, my goal, my first goal is 4,000 subscribers. So I'd like to get there. I know that's probably going to take a while because I'm nobody special. I'm not probably not interesting. You're probably going to be going, well, why should I watch this guy? He's as boring as it comes. Well, I hope I can be somewhat entertaining to you, and maybe give you a laugh every now and again. That would be great too. So, just a little bit of background on me. We're going to try to keep this around 30 minutes. And I know you're thinking like, oh my gosh, 30 minutes. I got to spend 30 minutes with this guy. What is up with that? Well, hopefully we'll have some laughs in there. You'll learn a little bit about me if you didn't know already. And sorry if you see me look, I have two cats here. They'll probably make a cameo here in a minute, and one of them is into something over here. So I may have to get up here in a minute and see what's going on there. I'm sure one of them will come across here in a minute and make a little cameo here. So they live here too, so don't mind them. My name here is It's Nick J. That's the name of the channel here. I was born and raised here in Tennessee. I am in Upper East Tennessee. Been here all my life. Graduated from high school here in the area. You'll find I'm going to try to be as vague as possible because I don't want to give away, everything about me. I don't want people knocking on my front door at this point. But I did graduate from high school with honors. I went off in 1996 to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, Tennessee, where I studied instrumental music education. And you can see right behind me here some of my stuff from my time at UT. Obviously, up here, anybody... Oh, let me find it here. There we go. This one right here. Anybody who knows anything about the University of Tennessee, that is the famous running through the T in pregame there. I am in that photo somewhere. I'd have to really look again and find myself again. I don't quite remember. This next one below it, let me find it right there. That is a picture of Peyton Manning right there where my finger is. That's Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning and I went to school together at the University of Tennessee. No, I didn't have any classes with Peyton, but yes, we were there at the same time. And in the background there, I am playing in the University of Tennessee pep band, right there as they do the vol walk. Uh, Sorry, my screen went to sleep there. I couldn't see what I was doing. This here, as I just said, I was in the University of Tennessee Pride of the Southland marching band for 4 years there. We did a field show one season with Chubby Checker. That is Chubby Checker right there. My mom and dad were there for that show, and Chubby was getting ready to get into the University of Tennessee police car to be escorted down to the stadium. And my dad said, "Hey, Chubby," and he snapped a picture. So that's Chubby Checker there. Up here, you can't see all of the picture, and I'm not going to mess around with the camera because I don't want to mess up what I've got. But that is a picture of the Power T from our field show when we won the national championship in 1998. And then just below that, as I said, I was in the band. We didn't need tickets to get in. Our uniform was our ticket. So once we got back on the bus after the game, each and every one of us was given a unused ticket to the Fiesta Bowl National Championship game in 1998, which actually took place in 1999. And there that is. Below that, you see my printer there. In case you're wondering about the gray hat here, it's kind of hard to see. But that is my friends at New Belmont Lanes. They're very good friends of mine. I ask that if you are in the area and you know where New Belmont Lanes is, you stop by, check them out. It's not the Belmont Lanes that you probably heard about a few years ago. It's completely under new ownership. Victor and Megan Pacheco, I hope you don't mind me giving you a shout out there. Good friends of mine. They've been doing a wonderful job re-establishing the reputation of Belmont Lanes. That's why they call it New Belmont Lanes, so you don't confuse it with things that happened to the past. They are very much underway getting that facility back to its original purpose of being a family entertainment center. It is a good place you can take your family. There's no drinking allowed, no cussing, no fighting, no smoking. And, you know, anybody that shows up there that's doing any of those things, they will ask them to leave. If they don't leave, you know, next steps are taken there. So it is a good family environment. It has had quite a few years of neglect, and Victor and Megan are working real hard to get everything back up and running the way it should be and have a good family entertainment center place. So those of you who know where New Belmont Lanes is, like I said, I'm trying to keep things on the down low here. You can look them up. They do have a Facebook page, New Belmont Lanes. So I urge you to check them out and throw some business their way. Do appreciate it. So back to the topic. 1996, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, instrumental music education. As I said, I was in the Pride of the Southland marching band. Also over here, right there, I think you can see it. Like I said, not going to move the camera until I learn how to do those things. But that is a hat I purchased a while back from the band. That is, I'm not going to say my band hat. It wasn't my band hat. It's just a band hat. It is mine now. But a few years ago, the university, they needed to buy new hats. So in order to get the money for the new hats, they sold the old hats. So I got one of those. So that's cool too. Maybe someday we'll have a look around and look at things here and see some of the memorabilia and stuff I've got. So 1996, there I stayed at the University of Tennessee through the fall 99 school year. Was having some problems there with one of my major instructors. Pretty much said, "I'll see to it you don't get a degree from the University of Tennessee." So that led me to transfer to East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, Tennessee. Did music education there. Stayed around there, and it was about 2005. Went to graduate, try to graduate. I needed to get into the college education there. When I went over to apply, I was told, sorry, all the spots for next year are filled. I was like, what? Y'all have been saying for years now, we need teachers, we need teachers, we need teachers. Oh, well, there's only 30 spots. They're already filled. And I'm like, 30 spots? You've got to be kidding me. So, of course, I was ready to graduate, other than being in the, needed to get into the College of Education. I had all my music coursework done, my electives. I just needed the education stuff done. So at that point, I wasn't going to be able to get in. I couldn't just take a semester, 2 semesters, however long it was going to take to get into college education. You know, I already had all kinds of debt. So we decided it didn't take too much to get a degree in instrumental music performance. So we went that route. I had my senior recital. Some of you probably have wondering whatever happened to that. I did have my senior recital. It is on file at the Sherrod Library in Johnson City, Tennessee. You can look it up and check it out. I assume that's where I was told it was going to go. So it should be there on file in their library, and check it out if you want to. I used to have some copies, but I cannot find them anymore. I worked really hard on that recital. I'm going to say I'm not one of those who was a great musician. You know, I had to work really hard to get that out, and I'm not going to say it was the world's best recital either. It wasn't. But I did pass. I did pass my recital. The 2 things I did have a problem with, I failed Music History 4. So I took that over the summer. And also, another thing I failed was Class Piano 4. So Class Piano 4, for those of you who don't know, it's basically a piano class. To pass Class Piano 4, you have to pass, it doesn't matter what you do the whole semester. You can pass everything the whole semester. If you don't pass the piano proficiency exam at the end of the semester, you're out of luck. You fail. So I took the piano proficiency exam that summer and failed it. And failed it. I took it several times and failed it. And then I gave up. I'd been working at a local high school as the assistant director of bands for quite a few years. And the school system there just dropped my position without any notice whatsoever. And that really hurt because I'd been with him on staff since 1996. And, you know, to be honest, it kind of hurt me. And at that point, I just wanted to do something else. So I actually started, a few years earlier, I started working part-time in a convenience store here in the area. Not something I ever saw myself doing. That was not something I ever wanted to do. I never wanted to work anywhere where I could get shot or blown up. But it actually turned out to be a pretty decent career for a while. The independent I worked for ended up in 2005, right about the same time, got bought out. Well, not really bought out. The company that owned the property, they wanted it back so they could have their own store. So they kind of took the staff that was there, everybody that wanted to come along. And I was actually at the time the head cashier and night stock, and they were looking for a manager. So I said, hey, you know, I'll give it a try. I'll be the manager. So our very last day of operation under the independent was the same day that Hurricane Katrina hit. So we were planning on having a party for the owners and everything, and a nice little thing, but we couldn't even close when we needed to, because in order to finalize everything, the new company had to come in, they had to count everything, but we couldn't close because gas, there was going to be a big shortage on gas is what everybody heard, so everybody was coming in and getting gas. So what we had to do, we had to rope off the entire rest of the store and only leave the front counter open where people could come in and still buy gas. And we sold gas and sold gas and sold gas and sold gas until it got so low in the tanks that the pumps wouldn't pump anymore. And then we were able to close. They were able to finish their counting, and we were able to do a little bit of celebrating. Not quite the celebration we wanted to have, but we did get to have a little time with them and tell them how much we appreciated them and everything such as that. So very early the next morning, we opened back up under the new company. Well, we weren't able to open at 6 o'clock like we were supposed to because we didn't have any fuel. So as soon as we got a fuel delivery in, we opened the store and got everything up and running and going. And that started my career in management for that particular company. So fast forward ahead, 2008, I left that company, went on to another convenience store chain. I had applied as wanting to be a store manager. They felt it would be better for me to go in and start with them as an assistant manager. So I did go in and start as an assistant with them. Pardon me just a second. Started as an assistant with them, and went on within 2 or 3 months' time. I was a store manager, had my own store. Ended up staying with them just about a year and a half. It wasn't really a good fit. That's why I'm not naming any names, company names or anything. But that company was more like a college frat party. And that just really wasn't my thing. So left there. Went to work for a cell phone factory here in the area. And believe it or not, that is something I really, truly enjoyed. I was what they call a triage technician. So I would get the phone in. I would look at it. I'd go through all the operations, determine what needed to be done on it, and then it would get sent on to our repair technicians. I did such a good job, within a week I was moved over into one of the pods, repair pods, as the assigned triager for that pod. I was on through a temp agency, and what this particular company did, they started everybody off as temps, and then you'd work for a while, and then they would hire you on full time. Well, right about the time when it was getting time for me to be hired on full time, they got bought out. Now, the plans for the new company, they were going to build a new facility, state-of-the-art facility. All this is going to have all these bells and whistles. All kinds of promises were made and things such as that. But then they turned around and they closed the facility down. Right when I was supposed to be getting hired on. So that kind of stunk. And then I went right back into the convenience industry again. Started off with another company. Started off as an assistant manager. Within a month's time, I was a store manager, had my own store. Stayed at that store for quite a while. Then I was doing some training. This particular company had training classes that each and every new employee had to go to before they could work on their own. So as a store manager, they let certain managers teach these classes a couple of times a month. I was one of those store managers, enjoyed that a lot. Our training and development manager knew he was getting ready to leave. At the end of these classes, we gave surveys, and they were turned in. I got such high marks on the surveys that they were looking at me to take his place when he left. So, to make a long story short, I ended up getting that job. I moved into corporate as the training and development manager for this company. About another year and a half later, we're looking about early 2017, it was announced that one of the previous companies I'd worked for was going to buy the company I was currently working for. So uh, they already had a training and development manager. Um, they asked me, "Would you like to be a regional trainer?" And I basically said, as long as you don't mess with my pay, don't mess with my vacation, and don't mess with my benefits, I'll be whatever you want. So I was a regional trainer. Back in March of this year, we went our separate ways. So right now, yes, I am currently unemployed. Um, I'm not really looking for anything at the moment. And a lot of people are saying, well, if you're not working, you don't want a job. Well, I want to assure you, I am not collecting any unemployment at this time. I am eligible for it. I'm not collecting it. I am living off money I have put away. I spent almost 9 years. If I would have made it through May of this year, it would have been 9 years working, pretty much all the time, especially when I was a manager, with just a few days off here and there. So 9 years is a long time to work at a job in a row. So I decided before I go looking for anything, I'm going to take some time off for me. I've got a myriad of projects here at the house I can do and take care of. And I know when I do start working, it's going to be a long time before I get any real time off again. So I am taking some time for me. I don't want to say I'm not looking. I am looking, but there's not really been anything that's really caught my eye. I'm going to need something that paid about what I was making before, which I was making a pretty good amount of money before. I don't want to really get into that. So it's going to have to be a job that pays pretty well. So just a little bit about me. I do have tons of convenient stories. Some I won't be able to share on here because, this is a PG channel. We want to keep it good so anybody can view it and not have anything going on there. So we're at about 22 and a half minutes now. Hard to believe I've been talking that long. So here, probably about another 7-8 minutes, we're going to wrap it up. I don't know yet how to do all the neat little things on YouTube like a lot of the YouTubers do. I will try to get that figured out. Hopefully episodes in the future will be more entertaining. I will try to see if I can figure out how to put a link to New Belmont Lanes and Cafes Facebook page. Unfortunately, the cafe is currently closed, but Victor assures me here before too much longer that will be open again. Also, don't want to give anything away, but I may be opening a business, my own business, so that's kind of why I'm not really looking for anything right now either. Want to get this business going and started and see how it does. Hopefully, maybe things will take off and the business will be successful enough where I won't need to get a full-time job. I will be able to live off that. Here's hoping. Don't know. But I do ask that you please, if you enjoyed the content today in this video, that you like the video. Also, subscribe. I will try to figure out how to put a subscribe button on the video that you can click right on and subscribe. But from what I understand, every like helps, every subscribe helps. But if you don't want to do that, you don't want to like, you don't want to subscribe, you don't want to turn on notifications, at some point I will have live videos. Hopefully when I get a little bit of an audience that will tune in, we'll do some live videos. That way we can kind of talk and talk about what's going on, whatever you want to talk about. I do try to stay out of politics and religion because those are very divisive subjects. I am religious, yes, I am. But I'm not going to infringe on anybody else's or talk bad about anybody else's religion. Your religion is between you and whoever you have as that person. So, again, going to keep away from that. Keep away from politics. Those of you who know me know my political thoughts, but I'm not going to share those with you. Again, that's very divisive, and I don't want that. I want people to watch these videos for entertainment purposes and have a good time, maybe have a good laugh along the lines. So again, I appreciate you tuning in. These will be much more, a fun way to say it, more better videos. I know that's not proper English, but they will get better as I learn. Bear with me as I learn. You know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We're going to find out. I'm hoping they're wrong. Then you can teach an old dog new tricks. Again, just be with me, bear with me as I try things out here. So I was going to try to get it to 30 minutes. I can't quite get there, believe it or not, and those of you who know me pretty well are going to laugh. I'm out of things to talk about for today. Funny, right? Oh, yeah, I guess I could tell you too. I also plan to do some urban exploring as I've been off, and actually before I was off. I started watching some urban exploring videos here on YouTube. Wally B's one of them. If you've ever watched any of him, if you haven't, check him out. That Nate guy on YouTube. I've been watching some of his videos too. And Video Bob. Video Bob is a character, let me tell you. But he does a lot of car videos. I'm not really a car guy, but he has a business called Bob's Prop Shop, and they make Back to the Future DeLoreans, Ecto-1s from Ghostbusters, Knight Rider cars, all kinds of different cars and props and things. So definitely check his channel out. He's definitely a little bit over PG-13, so I will warn you about that. If you don't like the language, stuff like that, then Video Bob may not be for you. But he is very entertaining, I'll tell you, and check some of these people out. Hopefully, I want to give them a shout out because they've been ones that have influenced me to do this. So check them out. Hopefully, maybe they'll check me out. Give me a shout out there and help me get my channel growing. So for right now, that's all from here today. Again, like the video if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to turn your notifications on, and I sure would appreciate it. It would be a great help. So not exactly sure when this video is going to be published. It'll be published within the next week or so. So hope to see you next time. We're going to try to do one at least every week after I get going if I can, and then start doing some urban exploring. So watch out for that, and for now, it's Nick J saying bye. Have a great day.